What's up YouTube? Welcome to New Parents in Training. So today we got a security cam from Conico. This is a outdoor battery security camera. So this is pretty cool. One of the key feature is no cords, no wire. So 100% wire free. Like we really wanted to put a outdoor security camera, but one thing I'm really afraid of is to hook up the wires, because I don't really know how to do things like that. I don't want to drill the holes too large and whatnot. But this one should be pretty good. It will help us to keep our house safe. Alright, so let's see. So this camera is 1080p. And let's see, they have instructions manual. Now let's see what we have here. Solar panel, isn't that cool? So yeah. Not only this one has a battery, but you can recharge via solar panel. And let's see. Oh, this thing is quite heavy. Alright, so here is the camera itself. There's a metal plate on the back. So this can rotate 360. Let's see what else they have here. USB cable, a bunch of screws and wall mounts. I think this is to secure your camera onto your wall. And also they got more parts here. Alright, so here's the camera. So peel this off. Wow, ta-da. Alright, this looks really cool. Well, okay, so let me read the instruction to see how to hook this onto our exterior. And don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. So let's try to connect this camera to the app. Now, strangely enough, the app that you need to download is called Cloud Edge, even though this brand is called Conico. But the app that you need to download is the Cloud Edge to set up with this particular camera. And for the camera, you have to open up the bottom portion here. Might be a little bit difficult, but that's where the on-off button is. So okay, now it's on, and you need to be really close to your router. Alright, so now let's start with the login. Let me set this up real quick. Alright, when you are trying to sign up, it will tell you to protect the user information. Log in multiple devices with one account is not allowed. So keep that in mind. Now add device. Let's see what we have here. Battery, camera. It has instructions to tell you what to do. So right now the LED light is blinking.
Please reset the device by holding the reset button for 5 seconds. Wait for the indicator light to flash red.
Alright, so according to the instruction, I need to do reset, the reset button right next to the power button. Okay.
Select the Wi-Fi network you want to sync with. Please choose a 2.4G network, then enter your network password.
Alright, so what it just tell me is to connect to my Wi-Fi.
Please remove the protective film from your camera lens. Tap next to show your QR code, then hold the code in front of the camera lens at a distance of 5 to 8 inches.
Okay, so now what I need to do is when I hit next, it should be pull up a QR code that has all my Wi-Fi and password information. Now make sure that the protective film is taken out, so then the camera can read the QR code that will be presented. So here we go.
Connecting. Please wait a moment.
Okay, it's now connecting. Alright, so now it seems to be device found. Oh, okay, so the connection is really quick.
Put camera and phone at the place of camera installation. Press next to enter network diagnostic.
So now it's doing some diagnostic for my network. Alright, so currently, it's right next to the router, so of course the Wi-Fi signal is good. So what I need to do is to find the place where I'm going to set it up to, and then see how strong the signal is. So this way, you have a good idea where you want to place your camera at. You don't want to place somewhere that has weak signal. And so yeah, this is actually set up as relatively easy. All right, next what I'm going to do now is to install this onto a place where I want to set up my security cam. So the installation is very simple. There's a bracket behind the main camera itself. All you need to do is just figure out the place where you can drill holes to secure this camera. So once you have installed the bracket, so there are 4 thumb screws that you can put this camera onto the bracket. Just screw on the side. Make sure that camera is turned on. The on and off button is right underneath the main camera. And there you will also find the slot for your SD card. This camera can hold an SD card up to 128 gig. The handle for the solar panel is removable, so that way it's easier for you to install the solar panel that way. Make sure you find a location that you can constantly get sunlight, and that's how you will be able to recharge this camera. And lastly, just make sure you connect the USB cable coming from the solar panel to your camera. Now that the camera is being installed, and let's talk about the app real quick. Once you log on, click on the device itself, then you will see the live feed of the camera currently. You will see things such as bit rate, that's just how much information is being transmitted currently. You will also see the Wi-Fi signal. The 67% you see right there is just how strong the signal is for the Wi-Fi. It's not the battery. The battery logo is right next to it. You see right now is currently at full battery. Let's talk about the stuff underneath. If you look at screenshot, once you click on it, it will just take a screenshot of the current video feed right now. And you have intercom. Now because this camera has two-way communication system, has a mic and a speaker on the camera, so you can click on the intercom to communicate with whoever on the other end. Record is pretty cool. You can record whatever is on the live feed currently. Once you record, it will either save onto your memory card if you have one in there, or to the cloud if you opt for their cloud service. And the motion detection is just a mean for the camera to start recording. So right now the sensitivity I set to 6 out of 10. The higher the number, the more sensitive for the camera to start recording things once it senses something going on. Right next to the motion detection is the PTZ. This is how you can control the camera. Right now I can tap right and it will move right. So it gives you really fine control. So I have used other cameras before. They allowed you to do rotation. The problem is you have to drag along on the picture itself. So sometimes you might overshoot where you want the camera to be on. With this controlling pad, it's much easier for you to control the movement of the camera. And also this camera allows you to zoom in and zoom out. So you can zoom in where you want to go. So yeah, it's pretty neat. And for this controlling pad on the center, the circle, if you click on it, it will go back to the previous screen. Now the elbow, you will see what kind of stuff you have recorded. It's really convenient for you to use. So if you look at history, you will see what's being triggered. So I was playing with the kid in the morning. So the camera senses there's movement and detect that. And so now it's been recording things because there's movement going on. So you can get those kind of stuff from the history. There's also alert to tell you what's going on. And also you can just screenshot whatever is going on. Now if you look on the cloud, whatever is being saved, the camera itself will store into the SD card and also up to the cloud as well. All right, so let's go into the setting and talk about some of the feature it has. Now for one thing, I was talking about the cloud storage, right? So this camera give you 7 days free trials. Now after the free trials, if you want to pay for it, then you will see a payment plan or what kind of offer they have for the cloud service. So you can either purchase this or just use your SD card as a means to store your video footage. So some other function that I want to point out for this particular app. For one, installation guide. This is pretty cool. This way you can find out whether or not your Wi-Fi signal is strong enough for the camera to work properly. And device share. So as I mentioned earlier, you cannot use the same login on two different devices at the same time. If you have someone else at home that you want to share the video camera to, then you have to use the device share. They do have a video how you go about with doing that, and then share the camera to whoever you trust. The basic function underneath, there's a power manager. This way you will know whether or not your device is fully charged. Because this device is using solar panel, you can see whether or not this device is being charged in the daytime. Right now, the remaining battery is at 100%. So I know for a fact that the battery is being recharged in the daytime. So there are other functions that you can mess around with, but those were the important ones I wanted to point out to you. And by the way, this is a live view in the daytime, and you can always maximize this screen, and the control will be still there. It's still the same way that you can control this. It's raining and cloudy outside, but as you can see, the video footage is still really good. You can zoom in, you can select the HD or SD mode. SD is a little bit fuzzy, but yeah, HD would be the way to go. Now here are some of the footage. There's one with daytime. And here's one with nighttime with night vision. Alright, so let's talk about some of the pros and cons of this camera. So for the pros, this camera is super convenient. It does not need any hard wire, so you can set it up anywhere you want to. And for us, we installed this onto the fence instead of onto the outer wall of our house. And because it's using the solar panel, we don't ever need to worry about when the battery goes out on this particular camera. So that's really good in terms of convenience. Another pro is this app is very convenient to use. I especially like how it can control the camera movement using the remote touch panel. So I can fine tune where I need this camera to land on. And also there's zoom in and out feature where I can see what's going on up close. Now granted, because it's only 1080, it doesn't get that fine detail when it's at nighttime. Now the cons, granted this thing has motion detection, but it does not have motion tracking. Now more recently I have reviewed a bunch of indoor security camera that has the feature of motion tracking, and they work really well. So I wish this camera would have that. So not only it can detect motion, but also tracking the motion where the movement go in and out of. Now the next couple of things are kind of nitpicking. They're not really that big of a deal, but for one, the memory slot only holds 128 gig of memory. A lot of security cameras nowadays hold up to 256. So 128, I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but the more the better, right? The last thing I wanted to point out is this camera is under the brand name Conico. But if you download the Conico app, it will not work. You have to download the Cloud Edge. So for some people that don't read the instruction, or the instruction is not coming with this, if you purchase a used one, then just keep that in mind. So you have to download the Cloud Edge in order to control this camera. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, comment down below. Until next time, bye.